What's up? What's up? What's up? What's happening, folks? Hope everybody's having a great week. Hope everybody's having a great week. I've seen quite a few folks already in the chat. Double D, Daddy Dutch, how are you doing? Tony Lopez, man, good to see you. Rick, my man, what's happening? Missed you on Monday, Rick. Missed you on Monday. The Cooking Cop and Babe. Welcome, folks. Big Rome. Romy Rome. Oh, oh. uh, this should be a fun one, man. Really looking forward to it. Yeah, this should be a fun one. Really looking forward to it. We're going to give the folks the usual couple of minutes, man, to straggle in before we get going. The Poor Conservative, what's happening, TPC? How are you doing today? I need to find some music, man, that I can play during this 3 minutes. I really enjoy that. I see Greg Rempe does it. I see Smoking Gooder does it. I just got to figure out how to get it done. I can always sing to you guys. I believe you brought that up a couple of days ago, Double D. I don't know. I'm not sure what that is all about. I don't know why I get the feeling you're poking that man. I want no parts of it. Troy, what's going on, baby? Troy says he'll be working for the most part while working, but listening. Now, we appreciate you stopping in. All right, another 30 seconds or so, folks. Another 30 seconds or so. It's a pleasure, Rome. All right, folks, we're at that 3 minute mark, man. We've allowed some of the folks to wander in. I want to welcome everybody back to another episode with Mom and Papa Joe. We appreciate you stopping in. Sit back, relax, grab a cold one. Sit back, relax, man. This should be a firecracker of a show. Been looking forward to this one for a couple of days now. As some of you, you've hit me up and told me you think this is going to be a good one. I really think so. We've got two awesome guests. These gentlemen invited me on their podcast a month and a half or so ago. I really enjoyed speaking to them, and they posted today's topic on one of their pages, and I was like, "Wow, that is an awesome topic." So I hit them up and I asked them, were they going to do a podcast on it? And if not, how would they feel about coming on with Mom and Papa Joe and discussing that topic, man? And they jumped at it. I was so thrilled. I appreciate that. So without further ado, man, let's bring in today's guest from the Northeast. We've got two awesome gentlemen, Greg and John. I will let Johnny. I will let these gentlemen do some introductions to you guys who may not know who they are. Welcome, fellas. Man, thanks again for stopping in, hanging out with Mama and Papa Joe.
Oh, CJ, man, thank you so much. It's an honor talking to you, brother. You know,
100%.
We had a great time a couple of weeks back when we had you on just after Houston, and yeah, well, I'm Johnny Mags, or John Maguire, Johnny Mags, the host of the Pit Life BBQ Podcast, and also my YouTube channel, Johnny Mags Barbecue. Been running it for the podcast for going on 4 years now. Be 4 years in August. And just love it. Started the show and jumped in, rolled into the mix with the YouTube family here, and just have met so many great people, that considered family. Even though we haven't met, it doesn't matter. We're family.
Absolutely, man. Welcome, Johnny. Greg.
Yes, sir.
What's happening, baby? Good to have you as well, bro.
Thanks for having me on, my man. Appreciate it. So, my name is Greg DiGiorgio, the barbecue broker. I'm a full-time real estate broker. I have been for 20 years. I live about 15 minutes north of Boston with my family. Also started a barbecue catering company a couple of years ago. I've been low and slow barbecuing for about 12 years now, and co-host of Pit Life BBQ, obviously with Johnny, and also run a group called the New England Pit Masters. Interesting term, yes.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that whole
Yes,
Northeast barbecue thing, man, because I've never heard of barbecuing out of Northeast. Hey, let's do a seafood boil, a lobster bake, or everything else, but never barbecue. So we're gonna get to that at some point.
A little clam chowder.
Yeah, a little chowder. Let me tell you, first of all, I just really, really love y'all's handles. The broker, Johnny Mags. You guys sound like you're connected. Like if I go sideways with you guys, I might end up with a horse's head in my bed or something like that. I love
DJ,
that.
don't worry. You're a friend of ours.
Yeah, my man. Yeah, my man. I appreciate that. So, real quick, Johnny, I know, man, you had a mishap at the house, and a lot of some of the fans already know about it. Let everybody know what is going on and how things are being handled, man.
Well, we had the weather called for a late April nor'easter, but instead of snow, we just got the wind and the rain. And Monday night, the wind was howling something vicious. Woke me up a few times through the night, and left for work about 6 o'clock Tuesday morning. And it was like hurricane gust winds walking out to the truck. And took off work. About 15 minutes later, my wife had called and said that a couple trees had fell down in the backyard, that they might have hit the shed. It was still too dark to kind of see, but there was a bunch out back. We're like, okay, as long as nothing, that's fine. So I kept on going on down the road. About a half an hour later, so 6:45 right now, and she called again, and was shaking up. I'm like, what's the matter? She goes, another tree fell, and it fell through the house.
Through the house.
So her and the kids were right here. I'm sitting at my kitchen island, and if you see the doors behind me, let me see if I get my finger right. If you go this way past this picture frame, the tree's in there.
Yeah.
right behind that wall. So if you see an eagle or an owl fly by, we're taking in borders right now. But most importantly, thankfully, my wife, the kids, the dogs, no one was injured. A little shooken up. A little stressed out at the moment. But everybody's good. So we were blessed with the whole thing. It's it pretty much best describes it looks like a disaster area out here right now. So we're waiting on the insurance companies, people to come and do their thing, and we got a tree crew coming in tomorrow because I actually have the top of the tree is laying clear along the whole length of the house to my right over here, and the other part of the tree is still leaning up against the house. Then there's another 80 feet of tree laying on the ground from where it had broken off. So yeah, we pretty much got hit by about 100 to 150 foot trees.
Yeah.
Dutch wants to know if you need any firewood, by the way.
Yeah. Hey,
That's my thing. I'm like, you're gonna knock all these trees down. Can you at least throw me an oak, a maple?
Yeah.
No, they give me pine number
3.
Pine.
Yeah, pine. Well, man, all's well that ends well.
Yeah.
Anything material can be replaced, man. So it's just great that nobody was hurt, man. Everybody's doing okay. And that's all we can ask for. Everything else can be replaced, repaired, whatever the case might be. But folks, we're going to get right into this thing, man. And we want to talk about the term pit masters. I told these gentlemen that over the years, at many sit downs at barbecue competitions, myself along with buddies, we've often discussed the term pit masters, how some individuals just kind of willy-nilly anointed themselves pit masters. And what does it take for someone to be recognized as a pit master? Is a self-anointed pit master a pit master? I know some people have strong feelings about that, and I really want to hear those feelings tonight, one way or the other. If you happen to call yourself a pit master, no dig at you. You've got that right. But we're going to discuss this in all of its glories, man, all the good and the bad. So real quick, folks, as I go through the chat, I'm hollering at folks. I see Steven has showed up, man. Let's see. Smoking Joe, what's happening, baby? How are you doing? CJ Bean, how are you doing? Uncle Steve is in the house, man. These are your boys, Uncle Steve. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, Big Rome stopped in. Here comes the judge. Real quick, I'm just trying to get caught up. I do not want to fall behind. Whenever I have guests, man, I tend to fall behind in this chat. Barton, what's happening, baby? JB, my man, good to see you.
JB.
Good to see you. So, folks, really, if you can, in the chat, I want you to write your definition of the term pit master. In the chat, place your definition of the term pit masters, and you don't necessarily have to go looking on Merriam's or any other dictionary. What do you feel? Someone who has that title, what should be their background? What should be their what should their resume look like in order to have that title bestowed upon them?
Yeah,
so we'll give you a few minutes. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that dirty laundry before we do.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Let's see that. That'll take a couple of minutes. But in the meantime, what do you guys cook on at home?
I have a couple Weber kettles. I have an Oklahoma Joe offset, the Highland. I got my original Brinkman bullet smoker.
Okay.
That I originally started on.
The electric one, the red one.
No, the black one.
Oh, charcoal. Okay.
Black charcoal.
Yeah,
a couple of Blackstone flat tops. Griddles.
Okay, sweet. I'm in the market for a flat top, probably a Blackstone as well. Yeah, probably one of those as well. You, Greg?
Well, I got a Kettle Performer. Um, I have a Big Green Egg. I have a Brinkman Trailmaster backyard offset smoker with a little pull-out draw.
Okay, sweet.
Old school. That was probably back in 2008, 2010 range. I bought it used. That was my first offset. And I have a Blackstone, 28-inch Blackstone. Love it. And I have a 500-gallon backline offset smoker.
Sweet.
That Ryan built me.
Ryan builds a great pit. Yeah, Ryan
Yeah.
builds a great pit, man.
That's the catering pit.
Yes, sir.
It's funny. He said I was going to order a 250. He said, dude, you're going to need a lot bigger, more room when you're catering. So he talked me into the 500, and now I could use 1,000 gallons. Trust me.
Yeah.
I could.
I was just talking to a pit builder today, and man, that was one of the things we discussed. I would rather have a bigger pit than I need, as opposed to the opposite direction. Yeah, because we're in the market right now for a backyard offset, so that's on the way. All right, so
cool.
Daddy Dutch has his first response. Someone who can properly cook proteins on a variety of cookers. All right, that I can understand that one. Yeah, I can definitely understand that one. A pit master is going to be able to operate effectively on whatever pit is placed in front of them. And I've always felt that if you're a good pit master, man, once you figure out, okay, what temperature whatever pit is running on, you should be able to adjust your cooking to fit that pit without a problem. That would be one of the prerequisites to be called a pit master. What do you guys think about that
one? Do you feel that there's that pit master should be able to cook any meat thrown at them, or a vast variety?
I don't know about any meat. I don't know about any meat. But any meat that we consider barbecued meat, any meat that has the potential to be barbecued effectively, a pit master should be able to handle it. Whether that be fowl, whether it be fish, whether it be beef, pork. I mean, I'm not going to talk exotic hippo or something out of the ordinary.
Right.
But I think, yes, the variety of the normal meats that we will find at any given supermarket or any given butcher shop. Yes.
Agreed.
All right. T Squared says someone that has mastered their tool of choice doesn't need to be a Hall of Fame cook. Just knows exactly how to use what they cook with. All right.
I think that as long as it's not electric driven or propane driven, there might be something there.
The tool of choice. Now, I don't know if T Square is referring to one pit in particular, because I really like going back to Daddy Dutch's response earlier on a variety of cookers.
Agreed. I agree more with that. Yes.
So not opposed to, I mean, how easy, or maybe not easy, but if you're using one pit, if you're using one pit over and over and over, yes, at some point you're going to master that pit. At some point you're going to master that pit. But again, if another pit is thrown at you, that might knock you off your game. So
that makes the difference.
Yeah, it does. So I like the idea of Daddy Dutch's response with a variety of pits. You know, so T squared, I don't know if you're referring to one particular pit, but yes, he definitely does not need to be a Hall of Fame cook, man. But you definitely have to know the tool you are using. Let's see, Brad, what's going on, Brad? Uncle Steve says 30 to 40 successful cooks on different pits using different proteins. All right, that is right.
He's putting a number on there.
Yeah, he's got a number on it.
He's got a right? Uncle Steve's got a threshold.
Yeah. So if you're at 29, you don't even dare call yourself a pit master.
To us.
Sit down, if you're at 29, don't even dare.
I think the point that Uncle Stevie's trying to make there is that consistency. Just because you bang out ribs one Sunday afternoon, they come out great. That's great, but can you consistently do that over time? And I think that's kind of the point of that is consistency. So we got a variety of smokers, a variety of meats, and consistency. Those are the three keys so far that I think we've hit.
I like that. And when you look at the pit masters in these barbecue restaurants, you know, you go to these barbecue restaurants and you look at these pit masters. Very often, these pit masters in these restaurants are cooking on 3, 4, 5 pits. And if you're going to run a successful restaurant, if you're going to call yourself a pit master in that establishment, then that consistency on all those pits has to be there day in and day out.
And you're talking offsets. You're talking offset smoker, wood-driven offset smokers right now. Yes.
That is real. Yeah, I'm referring to that because if you're going to be a pit master, fire management has to come into play big time.
So, and question: if someone is running gas assist Southern Pride, that's their restaurant smoker. They're turning out great barbecue with it. Are they a pit master?
Man. Yeah. Now here we go. Again, you know, we've just knocked a huge challenge out of the equation. You know, does that electric temperature control apparatus, does it make the entire process easier? It absolutely does. You know, I don't care what anybody says, it absolutely does. When I put that pit master or that cook, that restaurant cook using that Southern Pride with the electric controls against somebody running 1,000-gallon offset, there's a difference in skill sets. You know what I'm saying? Fire management has to play a huge role in that title of pit master, as far as I'm concerned. You know, somebody out there might have a different opinion, but that is my opinion.
Agreed. You might be a good barbecue chef, right? You might be a good barbecue cook or chef.
Yeah.
But not, say, a quote-unquote pit master.
Yes. And man, look at Big Rome's comment. Somebody that is skilled on fire management. That was right on time. Somebody that's skilled on fire management, that has got to be a part of it. I'm not going to knock your restaurant. I'm not going to knock you. If your restaurants happen to be running a Southern Pride, you know, it is what it is. Yeah. But I do believe that, yes, it takes less in terms of skill for you to produce a quality piece of meat off of that.
Agreed.
Yeah, as far as with the controlling your fire and, you know, controlling your temperatures, it also needs to be regardless of the variables.
Yes.
So it could be 100 degrees and 100% humidity. It could be a nice 70, sunny and 70. It could be raining windy, gusty winds.
Greenwood versus Greenwood versus
0 degrees and snowing.
Yeah, different woods.
You know, can you keep that temperature at a consistent level throughout all your cooks, no matter what Mother Nature throws at you?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, Smoking Joe, I totally agree. Essentially, someone who can cook on any pit, drum, offset, reverse flow, whatever the case might be. Whatever the case might be. I think we pretty much agree to some degree with this point.
Yeah.
Alicia.
Fire management has to be in there. Agreed.
Yeah. Someone who can put it down. That is all right. Let's see. TPC, this gentleman has got some knowledge, man. Always have some great insight. Going back to before the interwebs and convoluted puffy egos, a pitmaster was the guy who ran the barbecue pit for barbecues and cooked food properly, repetitively. Today it's been watered down a little bit. I totally agree, TPC. I totally agree. The term, in my opinion, the term has been thrown around a little loosely. In my opinion, a lot of people have self-anointed themselves with that term. I don't know how everybody else feels, but I really think, that term that title is given to you. That title is given to you by the people, man. I don't think it that you can anoint yourself a pitmaster. People have got to recognize you. Well, you can.
Who's the people, though? Which people? Who are the people? What are the qualifications? So if someone is in their neighborhood and they're the guy that cooks the low and slow barbecue, the ribs and the brisket, this and that, and no one else in the neighborhood can really cook barbecue. So to these non-barbecue people, that guy is the neighborhood pitmaster. He's cooking on a barrel, or he's doing fire management, and he's turning out good product. He's not a professional. Maybe some of those people might, if they know the term, they might view him as a pitmaster, where others may not. So is it subjective in a way, or can it be subjective, or are there just different categories of pitmasters? Can you be a pitmaster in the world of competition? Can you be a pitmaster in the barbecue world? Can you be a pitmaster in the catering world or restaurant world? Is it categorical?
I think all of the above are correct. But once again, I don't care if you're in the middle of the block with that grill, man, and you're selling week in, week out, and the people are coming. At some point, after you've served those people 20, 30 times, 2 years in a row, those people said, man, that dude is a pit master. You know what I'm saying? He might not be cooking on a large scale, but again, if the people bestow that title on him, then there it is. I just hope he wasn't running around calling himself a pit master before the people he's been serving.
Right.
I mean, it's easy enough for us to call ourselves pit master if that's what we want to do. And that is where I have a problem. I think that is a title, man, that is given to you by the people you've been serving, as opposed to you just giving it yourself. Just because you teach the third graders Bible study on Sundays doesn't make you a professor of theology. You know what I'm saying? I mean, a heck of a lot goes into that. A lot of training, man, a lot of time, a lot of experience. So again, and that is the same way I feel about being given that title of pitmaster. And you mentioned the competition. Man, if you're out there competing, and I know a few gentlemen, man, that have been competing 20 plus years and doing it at a high level, I don't have a problem calling them pitmasters, because they've been out there getting it done. And these are gentlemen, man, that they just do work. At no
Mhm.
point have they ever referred to themselves as pitmaster so and so. You know,
Right.
so again, I don't have a problem with that, man. And like you said, it can be subjective. But I just have a problem when somebody anoints themselves pitmaster.
Yeah.
Question. Good. Sorry, I didn't interrupt. I have
No,
a
go
question
ahead.
when you're ready. When you're ready. All right. So let me ask you this: if there's let's say there's a competition guy that before competition never really did much barbecue, got into the competition barbecue circuit and started killing it. And this guy, let's say this guy has been doing it, 10, 15 years, and he only cooks the 4 categories. That's it. That's all he's ever known: chicken, pork, beef, ribs. That's all he knows. And he crushes it. This guy gets walks all the time. He wins categories. He RGCs, he GCs. I mean, this guy throws down, but he only cooks these 4 meats and he only uses barrel smokers. And that's all he's ever used. But this guy crushes the competition scene. Is he a pitmaster?
Yes. Because
I
he's walking on a consistent basis. And as you're saying, he only cooks those 4. Well, those are the only 4 available in a competition. You'll have a steak competition, but on a regular barbecue, at least KCBS, you're only cooking those 4 proteins. You're not cooking anything else, so you're cooking the same ones week in, week out.
now
What about the argument that you have to be able to cook a variety of meats on a variety of different smokers?
that's the one we just took out, John. John, we just took that one out of there. All right, he's cooking on drums. He's been cooking a drum for 4 years, killing it. But where is the variety of pits? Where is he showing us that he can do this on an offset, on a Weber? I mean, so we just taken a huge chunk out of those prerequisites. Now I don't know if maybe we there can be considered categories of pit masters.
So the categories come in.
Is there a competition pit masters? And I would not have a problem with that. Yeah, I would not have a problem with that. A competition pit master. All right. This dude is just killing it on a regular basis, regardless of what he's cooking on. He's just killing it. I mean, when you start throwing out so many great cooks at events, man, and this individual continues to top those great cooks on a regular basis, I don't see a problem with him calling him a competition pit masters. Yeah, and again, that's an opinion. I don't know if anybody else have any feelings about that.
How do you feel about this? How do you feel about this? Can we view a pit master as being kind of like a black belt? You become a black belt, but then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 10th degree black belt. Can a pit master be in that kind of like that, where you can be a black belt, but there's still obviously lots of room for growth or growth into other categories?
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I really think, man, we're just gonna have to and I don't know how one would make this official, but maybe we have restaurant pit masters, competition pit masters, backyard pit master. I mean, think about it. How many of us barbecue guys have 7, 8, 10 pits sitting around in our backyard? All right. And on a regular basis, I am switching pits. I am switching pits. And I think I really produce some quality stuff off of those pits. By no means am I calling or referring to myself as a pit master, but there's so many of us out there that have mastered to a degree a variety of different pits, even though we're cooking at home. So maybe you want to have a backyard pit master, the restaurant pit master, and of course the restaurant and competition pit master is going to get all the kudos, all the hollers. But that is a possibility. What I am just not very keen on are those self-appointed pit masters.
Yeah.
Wait for somebody to give you that meat. If you're cooking at home for the family, man, the family want to call you pit master daddy, that's fine. Yeah. But don't take that public. Yeah.
I going back a few comments ago, that's and like you were just saying, CJ, that's kind of where I stand. That is a term that is earned. Not the self-appointed. You earned that in one way, shape, or form. Whether a mentor of yours, almost passes the torch, so to speak.
Yeah.
You've come a long way. You're it now. Or, in the restaurant, like you're saying, cooking for the masses on a consistent basis, keeping that product the same every time. But as TPC said before, this term has, and I said this to Greg earlier this afternoon, this term has gotten, I think, extremely watered down.
I think it has to do with
anything
with technology.
On one end of it being watered down, it's also been put on a pedestal because, like we were talking about, I got the old Merriam-Webster's dictionary out today.
Did you actually print that on paper?
Yeah.
No,
it's written.
He's got it written down.
That's even old. You're even older.
You should try it sometime.
You actually wrote something down? Oh my God.
But the definition of pitmaster, noun, a person who oversees the cooking done in a barbecue pit, a professional or skilled barbecuer.
Too vague.
That's a very vague definition.
Too vague.
They don't describe what pit we're talking about here.
Now, the term that attracts me or jumps out at me in that definition is oversee. So do I have somebody else on the pit and I'm just overseeing the process? Now, T Squared asks a pretty good question. Is Aaron Franklin a pit master? He mostly uses his offset, but I'm sure he can use other pits. Probably not as efficient as he is his tool of choice. Now, I don't know much about Aaron and his entire process. I know he's an offset man. Does anybody that's been to Aaron's spot, does Aaron have cooks doing it, or is he doing it?
Oh, he used to do it. As far as I hear.
Yeah, he used to
put the time in, but now even like a bunch of guys like Truth Barbecue, you go there and they got a couple guys working in the rooms. Eventually you had to start it though, right? He had to start it, put the time in. He was the one doing it when he had his trailer. He was cooking every day until he grew to a point where, you have people helping you, right?
And something that we haven't mentioned yet is a pit master, the true pit master, his ability to pass on to somebody else. Can he train somebody? Can he teach somebody? Is he knowledgeable enough to be able to teach somebody? And if you're a pit master that's going to open a restaurant, all right, barbecue restaurant, who wants to own a restaurant where they're responsible for the cooking on a daily basis? Can you really oversee a restaurant, manage a restaurant, and cook? So I think that the object or the goal of any pit master who wants to open a restaurant is that at some point they're going to be able to train somebody, all right, to do the cooking while they manage that establishment.
Now, I brought this up earlier with Greg, and The topic is Myron Mixon. And I can't remember if it was this week or last week on the Barbecue Central show. He mentioned a name of a gentleman, and that gentleman is the head cook of Myron Mixon's competition team, Jack's Old South. So Myron, being a pit master, teaching the tools to this other gentleman who is now running the show, running the competition team, in charge of the competition cooks itself, while Myron is out being the face of Jack's Old South and, the celebrity persona that he's grown into be.
If someone's put the time into the craft, and just because they're now just the face and they're not actually cooking, I don't think that does not make them a pit master. I mean, they've put their time in. They've earned their stripes.
Oh yeah, he's got the mileage. He's got the mileage. He's got the resume. So and while we didn't mention it, I mentioned it a little while ago. A pitmaster should be able to pass on that wealth of knowledge that he has or she has. So I agree with
that. I agree with that, but I don't agree with that they have to be able to also run the restaurant. You could be a poor business person, restaurant-wise, running the business, but still be able to teach someone the craft.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. I mean, I know if I was ever to open a restaurant, we were ever to open a restaurant at some point, I don't think I would want to be that individual out there cooking on a daily basis 100% of the time.
Right.
I mean, I'm going to want to take vacations. I'm going to want to take some time off with the knowledge that the restaurant is in good hands. And how do you go about that? Is to train somebody. I want to take that vacation with the knowledge that the food is not going to fall off when I step out the door. We're going to turn in whatever we've been turning. We're going to serve whatever we're going to serve. Yeah. I'm going straight to competition mode. Yeah, but I want to make sure that we're going to be able to serve the same good food on a daily basis, whether I am in there or not. So yes,
that's right.
A true pit master got to be able to pass that on effectively.
Now, going back for a quick second of when Greg had brought up, like a competition cook
categories,
those 4 proteins.
Oh yeah.
Another name that automatically comes to my mind is Rodney Scott.
Yeah.
Renowned pit master, has done the time, put his dues in. Now, obviously, not often is he brought up about his chicken or his brisket, but he is known and a inductee this past year into the Barbecue Hall of Fame. He is known for his whole hog, his whole hog cook. And which could a whole hog cook be a true benchmark of it because of the different temperatures you need to have for all the pots to be considered done, and to protecting the loin so though you don't dry out, things of that nature.
I can totally understand that, but how much of Rodney's notoriety for that whole hog is due to social media, TV appearances, cooking show appearances, because anytime any of those shows go to Rodney Scott's, what do they focus on? Whole hog. So that's what we see. That's what people see. And we know barbecue restaurants is tourism is a huge part of barbecue restaurants. You know, people are going to fly in from out of town, drive in from out of town to hit a barbecue spot. If a TV show happens to come to your spot and they focus on chicken, and on that particular day, man, you had, you know, your chicken was just killer. Guess what? People are going to come for chicken.
Mm-hmm.
We have a prime example of that up here of this restaurant called the Tuckaway Tavern. And it was, it's run by Chef Bobby Marcotte, which has been on different shows, but it's always been a Class A restaurant. Great food, awesome every time, consistency. But what put them on the map was Guy Fieri on his Diners, Drives-In, and Dives. They did an episode with him, and now there's a minimum of a 2 to 3 hour wait just to get a table. From the time that episode aired to right now.
Yeah.
But like you said, the TV, the social media, you know, let's just say it, the show that got a lot of people into barbecue.
Oh, no doubt.
Barbecue Pitmasters.
Yeah, no doubt.
And that was the first time a lot of people probably heard the term pitmaster.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. Brad says, I'm not a master yet, but I can say from my backyard pits to my competition and catering rigs, fire control and consistency is the key. Totally agree. Totally agree, Brad. Double D wants to know, Greg, your thoughts on a pellet smoker. Pellet
you want to know my thoughts?
Yeah, on pellet smoker pit masters.
The question is, if you use a pellet smoker, can you be considered a pit master?
I think that's what he's alluding to. Yeah, I think that's what he's alluding to.
I think if you use anything with propane assist or electric assist or any module that's feeding in the wood for you and making it a no-brainer, aka easy bake oven, I think that but you're still turning out good barbecue food or good product with that, which people are winning competitions with pellet smokers. So I think that if you're turning out a good barbecue product, it might not make you a pit master in a lot of people's eyes, but it makes you a good barbecue cook or a good barbecue chef. Maybe it makes you a good barbecue expert, but maybe not a pit master.
I can totally agree with that. It will knock you down a rung or two on the pit master levels. Anything that's going to control those fires for you. Anything that's going to control those that temperature, it brings you down a notch. And again, I'm not going to knock it because I love my pellet grills and I do a lot of cooking on them. But it does make life a little simpler. And absolutely, TPC wants to know. So someone using a block pit is just a cook. Oh,
block like a block pit.
Like the cement.
Cinder block pit.
Cinder blocks.
Okay. So this is a good question because I was just going to ask you this question, CJ. Ready? Let's say there's a guy that I don't know whether it doesn't matter if he's backyard competition, whatever. He's just a guy that cooks whole hog. Maybe he does it for a restaurant every day. That's what he does. He cooks on the cinder block pit every day, whole hog. That's all he knows how to do. Doesn't have the variety, doesn't have a pit or the variety of meats. Is he a pit master?
What is he cooking on that cinder block pit?
Just whole hog. That's it. That's all he's ever done.
Nah, he's a master of whole hog. But I don't know about a pit mate. I don't know about a pit master. But he's definitely a master of whole hog. But I don't know about a pit master because that totally goes around the definition we've kind of cobbled together already of a pit master. You know, variety of pits, variety of meats. And I by no means have I ever called myself a pit master or ever thought of myself as a pit master. But years back, we used to allow 7 pits to come to our competition class. 7 pits. All the students had the same rubs. I provided the rubs. Or our sponsors provided the rubs. The students brought their own wood. And I would have to go through and quickly figure out their pits. And this was fast speed. Figure out those pits and try to get the best product turned out at the end of the day. And there were many days where I was just absolutely thrilled with what I was able to accomplish during that class on those 7 pits. And then there were a few days where some of the pits just didn't run the way I was hoping they would run, and things didn't come out the way I wanted, or took a little longer. So I kind of prided myself that I was able to quickly adapt once I figured out where the pits were burning, how they were burning. And I was able to quickly adapt in the middle of a class. Very
That's
important.
Huge. That's huge. John, what did I say earlier that you said you thought that was it? Well, that was pretty damn close. Something about, it was having that vast experience, having the miles, right? Putting in your dues, putting in that consistency, no matter what category you're in, whether it be competition, restaurant, this or that. But also having the ability to adapt to the new trends or smokers or pits or that I hit the market. It's not because even if you are the highest level pit master, you can't have the attitude that you know everything. You have to be open to learning still new ways, new traditions, new techniques that the youngins are bringing up. You have to be willing to. That's what makes, I think, a good pit master in general, someone that can then adapt to that change.
Today's technology has completely, infiltrated our world of barbecue. Because like you said, it was always the cinder block pits, or hell, even before that, when you were digging
in
a
the
hole
ground.
in the ground.
That's what it used to
offsets be. and things. Now you have all these gravity-fed this, pellet-fed
craft
that,
barbecue vessels.
Wi-Fi enabled. You can control your pit at your son's baseball game. These days. So technology has changed the barbecue game, and has also changed, I think, the word pit master.
Yes, totally.
More watered it down.
Yeah.
And I also think the way the meats are, the proteins are today, with brisket, for instance, the prime, the Wagyu, the A5, the A9. When barbecue traditionally was an extremely lower cut of meat that you cooked low temperature for a long time and made delicious.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to see a competition of barbecuers, and you're given, at best, would be a choice brisket. I'd actually go, let's roll with selects.
I'm going to give you some select
mutton. If you're considered, show that you can adapt and make that select brisket tender, juicy, however you want to call it, instead of starting with something that has been raised, modified to carry that extra fat content, which helps the protein to begin with. Once again, a technology on one end coming in for a finished product. You can cook a juicy prime brisket. Everybody, we all have done it. Can you do it with a prime?
Yeah. Now, with that said, you've got to give the people what they want. You've got to give the people what they want. And as time has moved forward, people have gotten used to the better grades of meats. You know, back in the days before we had the Wagyus, before we had the primes, and everything was just selects, and everything else was just the average piece of meat. That's what we were accustomed to. Now today, restaurants. I think the majority of restaurants. I'm not going to try to give a percentage, but the majority of restaurants, men, are cooking primes and above. Cooking primes and above.
Yep.
Uh,
Yep.
And I want to say I haven't been there or tasted anything. I want to say somebody told me that Snow's is still cooking select. Is
They
anybody?
Are.
They are? All right.
I can verify that because I just was
okay.
there. I was just there when I was in Houston when I met you. That Saturday morning, I went there and I met Clay and Tootsie and Kerry, and I sat down. I talked to Clay for a while, and we chatted. He's actually going to be a guest on our podcast next Tuesday.
Oh, sweet. Clay
Cowgill from Snows, and yes, it's confirmed. Tootsie does still use select grade. So
all right, sweet. All right, so grades of meat. While I'm not going to say it makes it easier, but it definitely gives you a little more room for error.
Call it a mulligan, a meat mulligan.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a meat mulligan. And honestly, I'll take it. I'll take the meat mulligan.
Oh, yeah.
All day,
all day
night.
long.
I'm cooking for 100 to 200 people for my catering business. I got to bust out 12 briskets. I'm doing all prime every time.
Yes, sir. Totally agree.
It's going to be, that's my mulligan. I have a lot of, if I'm cooking 40 racks of ribs, 12 briskets, and, freaking 40 pounds of pork belly burn ends or whatever.
Yeah.
I'll take the mulligan and a half. Give it to me.
I totally agree. Smoking Joe says if a restaurant cook can use 1,000-gallon offset too, then yes, he's a pit master. I can agree with that, Joe, except the one caveat would be that before I give him that title, before I bestow that title on him, he's going to have to be doing it for years. He's going to have to be doing it for a little bit. All right. He's going to have a bit of a track record. Just me thinking.
See,
Uncle Steve says,
yeah.
Is a master mechanic only good at doing brakes? And I think this go back to that gentleman that on the cinder blocks with just a whole hog.
Variety.
Yeah, variety again. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Let me ask you. So speaking of Smoking Joe's, different Smoking Joe's, not Smoking Joe's Pit Barbecue, but I read somewhere recently, either yesterday or today, leading up to the show, Smoking Joe's Barbecue. I think they're in San Antonio, Texas. Restaurant, right? You ever hear of them? Smoking Joe's Barbecue? Not.
Yes, I've heard of them. Yeah.
So I believe they have a 5 or 1 day. It's a 1-day course that you can take, and they give you a certificate, a pitmaster certificate. I don't know about you, but I can't really wrap my head around that.
Yeah.
If you've never put your time in a barbecue, and just because you're taking a 1-day class, does that make you a freaking pitmaster? I would have to say the answer would be no.
I think with that certificate, you take that certificate and $1.99 to Valero gas station, and you get a cup of coffee. Yeah, and you get a cup of coffee. Yeah,
free coffee.
Well, that comes down to just like the old saying. What does the guy who graduates valedictorian of medical school and the guy who graduates dead last in the class of medical school have in common?
What?
They're both called doctor.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, without a doubt, man.
True story.
All right. Yeah. Mr. Bean says a person who can control their pit in adverse weather conditions and maintain their desired temp in any condition, that is definitely a part of it. I mean, that barbecue restaurant is going to run winter, summer, fall, you name it, so you definitely got to have that able to compensate for the effects of weather. And that comes with experience.
Well, Chef Johnny has a master's of barbecue degree. That's actually, obviously it didn't take 1 day, but that's pretty cool. I didn't know you could get that. Chef Johnny.
Yeah, he does, huh?
That's pretty
Man,
cool.
that is sweet. Yeah,
That's
is
pretty
sweet,
damn cool.
man.
Yep.
All right. Big Kano says no matter what is thrown at that pitmaster, he'll finish the cook. Oh, absolutely,
Big
man.
Kano.
Yeah,
Big Kano.
absolutely. No, absolutely. TPC has been doing this for 43 years, and he's still just a cold tender. All right, TPC. I just need to taste something, and I will make that title official.
We
Yeah,
can.
I just need to
can anoint you, sir.
Yes, sir.
We need like a 3-bone plate rib. We need to anoint people, pit masters, with a big 3-bone plate rib.
All right. Oh, so T Square is throwing monkey wrenches and stuff. So, in your opinion, nobody that runs pits in Midwest states can be considered pit master in their own store because I guess the city ordinances will not allow live fire cookers in their business. I don't think anybody said they weren't pit masters. I think we all agreed that they're just, because it's not a live fire, that they're just brought down a rung on the pit master scale.
Unless they also maybe do competitions and they run a live fire pit, or maybe they have a bunch of pits at their home and they run, they have vast experience with multiple pits, and just maybe it's just the restaurant, ordinances that doesn't allow live fire, but you could still be a pit master in other categories, right? Even just not in your restaurant category because you're not. I guess you don't have a live fire pit.
Yeah, T Square. I can still call them pit masters, man. But I just know that I would not put them in the same category as a pit master that is running a live fire, an offset. Managing heat, managing that cook. I mean, if that's a city ordinance, then you got to do what you got to do. I'm not going to take anything from you except that one rung on that pit master level. You're still a pit master. Yeah, you are still a pit master.
I think it's case by case basis too, right?
Yeah,
I mean, if you have one guy, like two guys, you got one guy that has vast experience cooking multiple meats on different vessels and different categories, and then one day he opens up a restaurant and he can only get a Southern Pride in there. Well, that does not make him not a pit master because he can't get all wood in his. He still has that knowledge. But then you have another guy who is maybe just a restaurateur. Maybe he was just a classically trained chef, and he got an opportunity to buy an existing restaurant, which happened to be a barbecue restaurant, and now running a Southern Pride in there. That second guy would not be a pit master, in my opinion. That first guy who has that vast experience in mileage before the restaurant would be a pit master, although they have the same restaurant with the same pits. A would be a pit master in my eyes, and B would not, because he doesn't have that mileage before that restaurant, and he just kind of stepped into a gas assist smoker. So that guy would not be one. So case by case, maybe in some situations.
And here's the deal: just because you're running a Southern Pride, I'm not going to take much away from you, because outside of temperature control, there's still going to be an art to turning out great barbecue on that Southern Pride. And the one thing, part of pitmasterism that we haven't mentioned is your recipes. Your recipes, as a pit master, you've got to have full control of your recipes if you want to create that consistent product. So we're not saying that a Southern Pride is going to make life so simple for you. You can just throw anything on there and create a good product. Outside of temperature control, you're still going to have to cook. You're still going to have recipes. You're still going to have consistencies. And there are so many factors that go into that. So yes, they are pit masters, but because they're not controlling that temperature like they would on a live fire, I would knock them down just a notch, but I wouldn't have a problem referring to them as pit masters.
And that's where the 10th degree black belt theory comes in.
Yes. Smoking Joe says if you spend more money on meat per month than you do electric bill, you're a pit master.
End of story. Good night. That's it right there. Just go off that.
And this is a good one. If your waist is larger than the length of your pants, you're a pit master. All right, he's on a roll tonight. Yeah. Yeah, he's on a roll tonight. Baby, I am good. T Squared says, that's an easy one, man. We can all get them big ass waists. He's on a roll. If you burn all the hair off your arms multiple times, you're a pit master.
What about if you have
yes, sir.
Horizontal scars on your forearm?
Oh man, I've got same here.
I mean, that could be some category level of a pit master right there. I mean, I'm just saying.
Dude, here's a good one. Yeah. How many of you have run into this where you show up to a barbecue and you end up on the grill?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
all the time.
And that is a great example of what the people that you frequent know about you, think about you. If you end up on the grill very often, unintentionally, and the people around you feel you've got some knowledge, some experience. All right. And there you are, a backyard pit master.
And that was my
great example.
That was my first example of the neighborhood pit master.
Yeah. Great example.
If you go to a barbecue and are asked to bring ice, you are not a pit master.
Yeah.
What'd you say? If what? Say it again.
He said, if you're asked to bring ice,
to a barbecue and are asked to bring ice, you are not a pit master, no matter what you think.
Agreed.
Trumpet says, if you make people happy by eating your food, you're a pit master. For the most part, man, people will not complain about free food. Yeah, for the most part, people will not complain about free food. So I'm not sure that's a realistic one. You give it to them for free, they won't complain. Now, if you charge them, they'll let you know what they think. Yeah, they'll let you know what they think. Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, and you know, I don't know about y'all, but you got to do it. You got to click them. Yeah, at least 3 times. Yeah.
Oh, you have
to.
Yeah.
Joe's on a roll tonight. Yeah. Joe is on a roll tonight. Chef Johnny, what's happening, baby? The only one I have a problem with is calling a pit master. Calling a pit master is someone that can only cook on a pellet grill. I totally agree. I totally agree, Chef Johnny. Right. I totally agree.
Yep.
If you've got membership, Sam's Club and Costco, primarily for meats, you're probably a pit master.
True story. So, like I said, it's subjective sometimes. It's categorical. There's degrees of pit mastering, in pit masters, and sometimes in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah. All right. So, Mama been Googling the meaning of pit master, somebody who oversees. We mentioned that earlier. All right. So the question is, what do we call skill? And skill, man, ability to adjust on the fly. Ability to be able to impart your knowledge on the next generation of cooks, and I think that's where you're seeing the people like the Franklins and the Rodney Scotts, because these folks, they're passing that on. Otherwise, you're going to be sitting in there resting 24/7, man. if you're not able to
Mhm.
do some of those things. So yes, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, Mom will tell you I've done this a few times.
Guilty as charged.
Just so tired that I'm not getting in the shower tonight. He said,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah. T
Yeah,
Squared said
I've become
I don't know many comp cooks that only cook the 4 meats. Yeah, I totally agree. If you're a
I
comp
agree
cook,
with
man,
that.
you've got multiple pits at the house. Yes,
Mhm.
sir. Yeah, yes, sir. Trumpet, you're something else, man. Yeah, Chris, Smoking Joe is on fire tonight. Yeah. uh, Uncle Steve says if nobody shows up to your barbecue, but everybody's going to your neighbors, all right, he's the pit man. He's
That's the
he is
read.
the
That's
pit
my read
master.
right there.
Yeah,
That's my read.
and he's
You ever wonder
using
why
that
no one's
Uncle
coming to your
Steve
barbecue?
shake. Yeah,
But they're going to
totally
Johnny's.
cool.
There's only one
CJ,
reason.
Yeah,
this is extreme. This Uncle Steve's comments is extremely funny because obviously I had the tree.
yeah.
Pummeling.
I wasn't able to make the show because of dealing with the insurance companies and the phone calls. So Greg was trying to explain that my house and my property took an absolute pummeling
Yeah,
from Mother Nature.
I
But
saw that.
he can't pronounce pummeling.
Yeah, I think he
It
said
was
pumbling.
always
I
pumbling.
thought there was a,
Yeah,
I thought
I
there was
saw
a B
that.
in that
Yeah.
word up until like the other day.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Well played, Uncle Steve.
Yes, sir, Uncle Steve. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, Mr. Bean, 7 pits. Oh, yes, sir. And cook on them all. Yeah, cook on them all. All right, folks, you know I'm at that 112 right now. All right, TPC. All right, come cook. Blah, blah, blah. These guys are pit masters. Not comp guys, but true pit masters. All right, cooking for 300. They cooking. All right, sweet. I like that. All right, folks, if you haven't hit that like button, man, go ahead and do so. Show us a little love. We appreciate you stopping in. Yeah, we appreciate you stopping in. Let me see if I got anything as I move towards the end of this chat. I don't want to leave any good stuff out. All right. Yeah, I know TPC, you've got that background, man. You've got that chef background. That's cool. So, Smoking Joe, the real question is somebody that only cooks barbecue on YouTube, can they be considered a pit master? Are we going to create a YouTube pit master category?
Joe already did.
He definitely did.
Pit Masters of YouTube competition.
Yeah, he
That's
definitely did. Yeah, he definitely did. I still like the term content creator. Yeah, I like that term.
Yep.
Yeah, a content creating pit master. There you go. Yeah, content creating pit master. All right. Big Rome says he has.
Can also be a content creator.
Yeah, Big Rome. Look at him. He's using all his words tonight. He's got 10 cooking vessels. I think he's got some clay pots or something. And he uses them all. All right, and it shows the live video, social media slate. All right, sweet, man. That's what we're talking about. All right, so we're gonna create a category, man. YouTube Pitmaster, and nothing wrong with that, folks. We're gonna shut this thing down in a few, man. If you have not been watching these gentlemen's Johnny and Greg's podcast, you need to check it out. You need to check it out. They've got great guests, man. These guys, they use a professional looking studio, not like Mom and Papa Joe's. All right. These guys look pretty cool behind their big desks. You need to check them out. Yeah, they're high speed. High
We need
speed
some of that
low drag.
hardware to hang out on the
Yeah.
background too, though.
I'll trade you the hardware for the studio.
Yeah. Yeah. High speed low. Oh, my man Andrew. Andrew, what's happening, baby? Good to see you, man. We appreciate you. Andrew said maybe it's the ability to teach the process that makes the pit master. I really think the ability to pass on that knowledge, that information is a huge part of it, Andrew. Great comment.
Paying it forward
Andrew.
is
Yeah,
a lot.
great comment.
Which paying it forward is big, and that's one thing I've really learned or have observed in this barbecue community in the family is that everyone's willing to help you, share with you, and are happy to pay forward the knowledge that was taught to them.
Yes, sir.
So,
yes, sir. Smoking Joe is asking, who's Rodney Scott? Rodney Scott, is he in Georgia? Where's Rodney Scott? Or Carolina?
He's in
Carolina.
He's in South Carolina.
Carolina. All right. All right.
Yeah.
Smoking Joe, he just he wrote a book that's just recently published. I haven't gotten my hands on it yet. I've got several barbecue books from some quality pit masters that one of them I'm in the middle of, another one I just received. So I want to really get into some of their knowledge that they're trying to pass on in these books.
You can go to the
we had the little scheduling conflict last week, but we were having Pat Martin from Martin's Barbecue Joints down in Nashville, and got him in Alabama and Kansas City. Now he's spread out, but he just came out with a book, the Life of Fire. And
it's upstairs.
CJ, I'm telling you, man,
it's an amazing book.
He goes in depth. From
you say Martin. What's the first name?
Pat.
Pat Martin.
Yeah.
All right, Pat Martin.
Martin's Barbecue.
Pat Martin, the Life of Fire.
Tennessee guy, right? West Tennessee.
He broke it down to basically like stages of life.
Yeah.
So, the birth, the adolescence, the teenage years, the golden years, old age, and he's broken the burn of the fire and how managing it through the whole thing, and it is simply incredible.
Excellent, man. I'm gonna have to look that one up. Yeah,
even like to the age of how seasoned a wood might be to how green it might be, produces certain size coals, which you're going to use for certain meats and for certain lengths of cooks. I mean, it's like insane.
Yeah.
Great book.
And something that basic, a lot of people don't take into effect. Don't take that into mind as they're cooking. Having different sizes of wood. So you get off track, man. You look at your firebox. Maybe at that point you're losing your coals. You want a smaller piece of wood to quickly burn down the coals, as opposed to a larger piece that's going to smolder. One of the things I learned over the years to have different sizes woods in my kit when I go to a competition, because at one point, man, I might get sidetracked, open my firebox, I'm down to coals. What can I do to prevent those coals from disappearing before a huge log catches? Smaller pieces of wood, and
light thin wood is what you.
Yes,
light
sir.
Thin wood. Get the
again and
quick. 20 minutes later, you got your new coals.
Yes, sir. So again, just things that comes with experience, things that you're able to pass on. Absolutely. All right, let's see.
I just heard a crack. I got nervous.
He said, "Was there another one?"
Yeah, it's supposed to rain. Did you get buckets under those holes?
Yeah.
You got buckets?
Yeah.
Okay.
Big Rome says you can't.
Literally, I just heard a crack. I'm like, oh shit.
Big Rome says you can't stick to your old ways. Folks, I was talking to somebody, and I can't remember who. Barbecue culture, man, is a living, breathing thing. It's constantly evolving.
Yep.
And if you're a restaurant, especially, and you're not evolving with it, you're gonna fall behind. And I am seeing that right now. Years ago, man, we used to look at Lockhart City, Texas was the capital of barbecue.
Capital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But man, with the Austins and the I hate to call it uh, new wave barbecue, but if you're not
Craft
going with
barbecue movement.
yeah, but
Craft
if you're
barbecue
not
movement.
if you're not in that craft position right now, dude, you're gonna get your butts whipped. Yeah,
This is
you're
what
gonna
we
get
talked about earlier.
yeah,
The
yeah,
ability to adapt, the
yeah,
ability to not just stay on the top, but adapt
yeah.
and to stay relevant
Yeah,
moving forward.
exactly. Exactly. There are always going to be people, man, who because they grew up with the Lockharts, they're always going to be going to Blacks, the Smitty, and those other spots. But unless they catch up, man, they will slowly just be forgotten. Excuse me.
It's no different than any other brand
Anything
that
else?
needs to
Yeah, absolutely.
reinvent themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree, man. Yeah, yeah, I totally agree. All right, hey Kevin, man, a little late, but we appreciate you stopping in. We're at 120. Joe is still going at it. uh Joe is still going at it. We all started in the backyard period. Come see Big Rome's Backyard Boogie on Texas Barbecue Chapter and see his skills.
Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see that. My sister jumped in the chat. Baby girl, how you doing, sis? My sister Verna is in the chat, man. I want to get to the bottom. I don't want to leave anybody out. Chef Johnny. All right. He's got his resume on his jacket, he says. Yeah, he's showing that off.
He's got the flair. Johnny's got the flair as well.
He took the cooking class. That's about 90 days. Had to cook all different proteins from beef to fish, high heat, low heat, and had to cook vegetables also. Nah.
And that when we
like
say
that.
high heat, that's another craze.
Yeah.
The whole hot.
Oh yeah.
fast
Oh
craze.
man.
Oh.
The days of low and slow are quickly going away.
Yep.
Yeah, low and slow quickly going away, man. And don't get me wrong, I am not knocking it, man. I'm wide open to change. We've been doing this barbecue comp thing since 2010. And I remember when we first started, we had some of those competition cooks, the older guys who were really kicking butt, really doing well. But as things change, and the injections and the phosphates, these guys were so into tradition that they refused to come into the new age. And guess what? They started falling behind, getting those butts whipped, man, no longer winning. And eventually they figured that it was time to hang it up. So if you're not changing with the changes, you're not going to be moving forward. Yeah.
And also, CJ, there is still always going to be so much to learn.
Yes, it never stops. Yeah, it never stops.
I'm just gonna say it right now. You got to be like just like Bruce Lee said it. Be like water.
Yeah, can fit into anything.
Fluid.
Yeah,
whatever you put water in, it becomes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You guys are gonna have a visitor, man, towards the end of the summer. JB is gonna come through. Yeah, JB is going to come through. Folks, we're 123. Man. Yeah, 123. Hey, go ahead.
JB, if you come, brother, I got a back line for you to cook on.
Yes, sir.
He'll feel like he's right at home, cooking on one of Ryan's vessels.
Hey, y'all better listen to my baby, all right, because she knows what she's talking about right here. Yeah, she knows what she's talking about. Folks, I really, really want to thank you guys for hanging out with us, man. I appreciate Johnny Mags. All right, Johnny Mags and the broker. All right, Greg DiGiorgio for hanging out with Mom and Papa Joe tonight. Gentlemen, it was an absolute pleasure, man, and an honor. We will do this again at some point, man. Closing remarks.
Had a blast. Thank you so much, CJ.
Yeah, thank you, CJ. It was an honor. Thank everybody for tuning in. This was a great topic. Like I said, I was just sitting here the other night, just hanging out, and I'm like, oh, let's try this out. And it just went off.
Yes, sir.
You
yes,
were
sir.
basically like,
and like you said, we jumped on it, and I'm like, absolutely, let's do it. It's a great topic.
I know exactly what you were thinking.
So many views, so many definitions of it, but the most important thing, we all love barbecue. We all love cooking. We all love live fire, pellets, gas, whatever you want to do it. If that's how you cook it, get to cooking.
Yes, sir.
Put some smoke in the air. One way, shape, or form.
You just want to, you're sitting on your couch and you're like, I'm going to rustle some feathers right now.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yes, sir. I love it.
I totally understand, man. I thought I was at the end of this chat, man, but all right, we're good to go. Grumpus, man, thanks for dropping
Grumpus.
in. And he drops in on the night I'm not using his koozie. Yeah, he drops in on the night I'm not using his koozie. Joe Everett, good to see you, baby. How are you doing? All right. My sister said she liked that fish curry. That was awesome. Yeah, that was awesome. All right, folks, I'm calling it for real this time. Gentlemen, want y'all to have a great evening, man.
Thanks, brother.
Pine makes great fire starters, Johnny. So chop it into little sticks, and they're great to start fires, man. I want y'all to have a great evening. Folks out there, you've got one more day, Knockout Friday, and enjoy your weekend. Mom and Papa Joe is going to be at Barbecue Outfitters doing a Traeger demo on Saturday. If you happen to be in an area, stop in 11 to 2 o'clock. We're doing brisket, sausage, and maybe one other protein to feed the public. All right. So once again, thank you guys very much for hanging out with Mom and Papa Joe. Take care of yourselves, and we will see you when we see you. Holla.
Good night, everybody.
Later, guys.